Hello, my name is Philip. I'm one of the TextHub Group product specialists, and today I'm going to talk about ClaroRead. ClaroRead is a toolbar that sits on your desktop, and ClaroRead helps students to be more confident, independent, and proactive learners. We can dock the ClaroRead toolbar to the top of the screen, so it's neatly tucked out of the way, and then we can grab a Word document that we've created before, and it's a simple case of click and play.
ClaroRead is assistive technology, software for people with disabilities such as print and reading difficulties like dyslexia.
And we can hear our documents out loud. If we go into the settings menu, we can change the voice. Currently I've got Kate installed, but you can see I've got many more voices as well, and I've got Oliver here too. At the very bottom, we've got Get More Voices, where you can install an additional 80 voices and 30 different languages. On our settings menu, we've got speed, we've got volume, we've also got stop after sentence, which is very good for proofreading your work. You can hear if your sentences are too long or too short, or if you've missed a word out or added a word in that shouldn't be there. In our advanced speech, we've got the ability to change the highlighting. So I've got mine set by word trail, but we can have it by sentence or paragraph. The foreground on mine is set to blue, that is the text color, but we can have it in any color that we like. I've also got it highlighting in yellow as a background. Just remember to untick the no background if you want that option available. On the ClaroRead toolbar itself, in the top left-hand corner, we've got the scan button, and we've got scan from paper. This is your traditional flatbed scanner where you put a textbook in or a physical piece of paper. You can scan that and convert it into an editable text document, such as Word or an accessible PDF. In the list as well, we've got scan from PDF and file. This allows students to download those inaccessible PDFs from the university library, Blackboard or Moodle, that are simply photographs of textbooks or images of text that can't be accessed. This will convert those files into an accessible PDF or editable Word document. Then we have my favorite, which is scan from screen. And scan from screen allows us to grab text from images, but it also allows us to hear things read out loud. So for example, I've got a Google book here, which is typical of an inaccessible document that we see on the internet. I can click on scan from screen, I can draw around the text, and I can then hear that text.
Least not at first. In addition, the book should not be used to try to diagnose dyslexia.
And we can hear the text read aloud. But at the same time, it's actually copying the text to the clipboard. So we can then paste this text into a blank Word document, for example. So I can go right click and I can go paste. And there's my Google book into an accessible and editable Word document. I can then use that information later. We've then got the play button, which you've already seen, stop and dictate. Dictate on ClaroRead comes in three sort of flavors. If you have Dragon Naturally Speaking already installed, ClaroRead will use the Dragon engine, so you don't have to have both toolbars open. If you don't have Dragon Naturally Speaking, it will default to a high quality web server where we can dictate into Word normally. If you don't have access to the internet, ClaroRead will default to the internal web system, so you get dictation all the time. If you're in the Word documents, we then have font and spacing options available for us. We also have the check button as well, so we can click on words in our document. I'm just going to click on there. I'm going to click on check, and it brings up the homophones because there is a homophone. It will also bring up suggestions if it's an ordinary word. So I'll click on reasons, click on check again, and it brings up the meanings option as well. If it's a red underline, it will bring us up spelling options as well. So the check button has three functions: spellings, meanings, and homophones. The homophones button itself has check homophones. This will check the whole document from beginning to end. We then have show homophones, which will highlight homophones in the Word document. You can then click on each one individually and use the check button in combination with it. We then have clear homophones, which removes the highlighting in your Word document if you don't want to hand it in with your highlights visible. We then have predict. Predict simply predicts what you're going to say next, and it will learn from your writing style as you use it. So very good if you can get the first few letters right, but you're stumbling over your sentences. We then have save, which allows you to convert highlighted text into an MP3, which you can then put onto your OneDrive, your Google Drive or iCloud and listen to it on your mobile phone when you're out and about. Really good for revision. In extras, we've got Screen Ruler. Screen Ruler allows us to focus on what we are reading. So I'll select ruler and we can read line by line. I can even adjust the ruler size a bit smaller to really focus on the line, and I can increase the opacity in the background as well to really help me with my focus. We have underline. I've defaulted mine to green, but we can have any color you like with underline. Red's also a very popular color, and that just helps you focus on the line that you're reading without using the shading options of the ruler. We then have overlay, which simply tints the screen. This is a really good feature to use at nighttime, particularly when you've got artificial light. And it just takes the brightness, that glare out of the screen. There again, we can change the opacity here. We can make it a bit lighter or a bit darker, depending on the user's needs. In the extras menu as well, we've also got Claro Capture. Claro Capture is a really good professional capturing tool that allows us to grab text and images from documents. So I'm going to go back to my Google book that I sort of looked at earlier. I can click on the screen button. I can grab a paragraph or two at a time, and it will then convert that in real time as I scroll down to the next paragraph. I draw around the next paragraph again, and it grabs the next one. I go to the next one again, and so on, and so on, and so on. So as you can see, you can grab text very, very quickly. This is very useful if you have limited access to resources on the university library. You might only have 24 or 48-hour access to a journal or an article, and you need to grab the text quickly, so it gives you that time to read it later on. All the text in Claro Capture is editable, so you can actually merge the text together. We can also grab images as well from our Google Books or our inaccessible PDF or the stuff that we find on the university library using the section button. All our information here is drag and droppable, so we can rearrange this to our heart's content. If we have a PDF that we're able to convert into a Word document, we can use the highlighting features in Word to highlight the key points and topics that we want to get. And we can sort of highlight, and we've got 15 highlighters here as we are going along. And in Claro Capture, we can click on the Word option and it will grab the highlights from Word for us. Also, we can do selected. Selected allows us to highlight text anywhere on like a Wikipedia page or the internet or the Blackboard, Moodle, or even the library. We can select the text, click on selected, and it grabs it at the bottom for us. We can do PDFs. We can add blanks in here as well. We can rearrange this to our heart's content. If we click on export, we can send this to Claro Ideas, a PowerPoint clipboard if we're using Google Docs. We can paste it into there. We've got rich text format and we've got Word. So we can send this to Word as a finished sort of first draft if we wanted to, with our pictures and our text. Claro Capture will also keep the source information as well. So where we grabbed this from, we can actually find the document, the website, and we can go back to it at a later date. In the settings as well, in the extras menu, I should say, we also have our Claro Ideas, which is a mind mapper. And here's a few mind maps that I have done earlier. So we can do a research project with like titles, headings, and paragraphs. So we can color things in as well in the classic sense of a mind map. We can do flow charts in here. So we can sort of do that all important sort of thought process and planning. We've got different shapes, different styles. We've got different layouts available as well. So we can do the free form, which is a flow chart. We've got centered, which is that all important thought process and revision. We've got left to right, which is stage 1, 2, and 3. Top to bottom, title, headings, and paragraphs, which is your classic layout for an assignment. And we can export all this to Word as a finished sort of research piece as well. We also have Screen Marker available. Screen Marker is a lovely tool for just seeing which line that you're on whilst you're reading. So for example, on our Google book, if we're going back to our Google book, just remember this is inaccessible. We can't highlight this. This could be like a PDF or a journal article. And we can simply put our pin on the line that we're reading. We read that line and we move down and we move down accordingly. So if your computer goes into hibernation mode and you need to move the mouse or you need to sort of wake the computer up, you don't lose your place on your document. And that is a quick overview of the ClaroRead toolbar. Thank you very much.